Batman has evolved worlds from his 60s TV show. Since then, the appearances of the Dark Knight have become more, well, dark. And appropriately so. This has led to some of the best interpretations of Batman ever made, like the Christoper Nolan or Dark Knight movies, and the Arkham video games. But which of these is the better version of Batman? To answer this debate, I'll be scoring these Batman interpretations on the grounds of which is better action, which is a superior story, whose villains are better, and who gives more justice to Batman himself. Before I start, I should say I'm going to do everything I can to grade Arkham Batman and Nolan Batman on equal ground. But the very fact that one is a series of video games, and the other a series of movies, means there's going to be unfair advantages and disadvantages. But hey, why take that so serious? It was just to drive everyone batty. Okay, I'm gonna get on with the video before I become the bane of YouTube.
Let's start the party with a bang.
One of the most important aspects to evolve in any superhero interpretation is the action. And while the Nolan Batman provides some very nice action, this point goes to Arkham for its deep combat and exploration system that makes the player feel like Batman himself. Also, this is a stealth system that scares big, intimidating thugs into little girls. Forget what the Dalai Lama says. Making thugs wet their pants is the true secret to inner peace.
Leave me alone, Batman! Don't come near me!
Inner peace.
I will never kill. Not even you.
With its amazing dialogue, surprisingly unpredictable plot development, and Arkham City's ending, the Arkham franchise has million-dollar stories. However, Dark Knight movies have billion-dollar stories. Plus, the Nolan movies aren't afraid to tackle huge inner conflicts humanity faces, such as seeing yourself become the villain. And this allows for some great quotes, such as,
I've paid you a small fortune.
This gives you power over me?
Maybe Bane's the one who holds the secret to inner peace. Ooh, on second thought, maybe not.
You're evil. I'm necessary evil.
Some might say the Arkham games will get this category for having more Batman villains, including an appearance from Calendar Man that's actually scary. However, I don't think this would be fair considering that the Nolan movies are limited to 2.5 hours, while the Arkham games can fill anywhere between 6 to 1,000,000 hours, depending how dedicated you are to those Riddler trophies. So I decided the best way to assign this point is to look at all the villains the two series share and decide who does each villain best. Oh, and Catwoman doesn't count. Villain number 1, Ra's al Ghul. While Ross and his followers have very important parts in the Nolan movies, their appearances are unforgettable and generic. While Arkham Ross has a much cooler organization, with a much cooler name, a much cooler fight with Batman, and overall acts more impressively than Nolan Ross. Villain number 2, Two-Face. As far as Arkham City goes, unless you count the boss fight that's at the end of the Catwoman DLC, you only see Two-Face briefly at the beginning of the game. And other than a coin flip, Two-Face really doesn't do anything special. While Two-Face's appearance in Dark Knight shows his plummet from a white knight to a man whose soul is as ugly as his face. And that's saying something. Villain 3, Scarecrow. Okay, this isn't scary. Playing mind tricks on a player in a video game by making them think their TV isn't working or emotional manipulation, that is scary. However, something about this routine Scarecrow does in Arkham Asylum reminds me of something I heard before. Wasn't it something about a praying mantis? Man, I can't remember. Villain number 4, Bane.
army will be raised. The powerful will be ripped from their decadent nests.
Villain 5, Joker. Both these Joker interpretations are historic roles. It might have been harder to decide which was better if Arkham Joker didn't lose so many points for his disappointing finale in Arkham Asylum.
You truly are incorruptible.
This one was a close contest. Nolan Batman is definitely more developed and emotional. However, this isn't much of a strike against Arkham Batman, since Batman has never really been an emotional character. Plus, Arkham Batman has more than enough well-acted scenes to make up for any emotional lapse he might portray. Not mention, Arkham Batman has better gadgets, is a more skilled fighter, and has bigger accomplishments. I mean, think about it. Nolan Batman was able to beat Joker and his goons. Arkham Batman beat Joker while he had an army of freaking monsters. Nolan Batman couldn't beat Ross in a fair fight. Arkham Batman beat Ra's al Ghul in a straight-up fight when Batman was dying and hallucinating. Finally, Nolan Batman was nearly killed by Bane, while Arkham Batman beat a more powerful version of Bane along with a giant crocodile and a giant plant monster, all in the same night. To settle this tie, I originally was going to throw petty reasons around until a conclusion was made. However, I kept on coming back to the same road bump. I can't say which of these Batman interpretations are better. Not because one is a series of movies and the other is a series of video games, but because their points of existence are so different. A good method to explain the spiritual difference between the Nolan and Arkham interpretations is to think of each of them as sculptures. When the Nolan movies were being sculpted, what the artist wanted was an outstanding story. He used the existing Batman lore as clay. He didn't care how he shaped, twisted, or deviated from the original comics, because he knew the end result would be worth it. Well, the sculptor of the Arkham games did the opposite. He used the game and its elements such as gameplay and story as the clay. The Arkham sculptor wanted his end result to be the ultimate tribute to Batman and his lore. The answer to which Batman interpretation is better is, it depends. When you see Batman, what do you value more? A good story or the idea of Batman being honored? I say that when handling a famous character such as Batman, both of these goals are equally important. So, as sappy as it sounds, this debate ends with a tie. I'm Mr.Hatguy, and just because Joker is my favorite villain of all time, and Batman is my favorite superhero, and The Dark Knight is my favorite movie, and Arkham City is my favorite video game, it doesn't mean I'm a Batman fanboy. Oh, who am I kidding? Of course it does.
I have the shiniest meat bicycle!
Do you